When was the last time you felt good about anything?
Because you don't know the answer to that question. I pity you.
Today we present two of the most iconic war films to grace the silver screen. And as we highlight in our first category, Behind the Lens, there's good reason why. The 1957 wartime epic Paths of Glory is directed by the incomparable Stanley Kubrick. The cinematography was groundbreaking, and it is considered to this day one of his best films. Both Time magazine and The Guardian tout Paths of Glory as one of the best wartime films in history. And David Simon, creator of the HBO show The Wire, credited Paths of Glory as one of his key influences. But on the side of Saving Private Ryan, we have the best wartime cinematography in history. And a lot of work went into the iconic look of this film, including a couple tricks by the cinematographer Janusz Kaminski. He and Spielberg, in order to recreate the World War II newsreel footage look, stripped away the protective coating on the lenses and ran the film through bleach bypass. And this gave the film a bit of a softer, desaturated look. In addition, they shot with a shutter angle of either 45 or 90 degrees, as opposed to the standard in Hollywood, which is 180 degrees. And the results was matchless. The D-Day scene alone is lauded by AMC's film site as the best scene of any film of any genre in history. And I honestly cannot say that I disagree, so we'll give the edge to Saving Private Ryan. The second category is storyline, and I'm going to be up front. I consider this one a tie. Simply because at the risk of sounding harsh, I can't decide which I like the least. In SPR, you have a very mundane storyline. Save Private Ryan because his three brothers are dead and they don't have the paper to send his mother a fourth letter. Okay, that's a bit harsh. But I honestly don't see why they have to save Ryan in particular. And at any rate, it's just not enough plot to get me out of bed in the morning. Even though it's based on a true story, just like Paths of Glory. And POG actually has two plots. A general who's crazy enough to say this.
He's a bit shell-shocked. I beg your pardon, Sergeant. There is no such thing as shell-shock.
Wants Kirk Douglas to go on a General Custer-like mission to take the anthill. Even though he knows and admits that it'll result in the death of over half of his men. And when they fail as expected, he tries some of his men with cowardice. Probably for something stupid like not running fast enough into machine gun fire. Then the second part of the plot comes where they go through some sort of kangaroo court and are executed anyway, despite Douglas pleading on their behalf and presenting, quite honestly, what are reasonable facts. Like I said, classic film, but not enough of an interesting storyline for me. But the acting, which is our third category, was flawless. Kudos to Douglas for his emotion in the lead role, and McCready playing an excellent antagonist. Adolphe Menjou does a commendable job, and the three men on trial for the alleged crime, although they're not any sort of famous actors, do a great job. But the gold goes to SPR. I mean, you have Tom Hanks, epic. Edward Burns and Tom Sizemore, epic. Matt Damon, epic. Bible quoting Pepper, epic. Ribisi and Davies, well, you get the picture. You even have Bryan Cranston, but the clincher for me was Vin Diesel in his role as Caparzo. I can neither confirm nor deny that I may have shed a tear during the viewing of this film, especially during Caparzo's death. It was a sad cap on what I would consider a very good supporting role. And back to Upham, who couldn't even carry ammo to his comrades. I mean, it was a very good performance from a guy who was low-key for most of the film. And the same goes for the entire unit, especially Tom Hanks. So much emotion, so much tension. I was wholly emotionally invested in this film. And that for me is what gives Saving Private Ryan the gold. But that's only my take. I want to hear from you. What's your pick, and who do you think should be next? I'll be seeing you blokes next time.
You stay. I go.
This is no time to panic. This is the perfect time to panic. I'm lost. Andy is gone. They're going to move from their house in 2 days, and it's all your fault. My fault? If you hadn't pushed me out of the window in the first...